Hello, my name is Megan and I work for the Truro Public Library, which is part of the Colchester East Hants Public Library. This video, we will be doing the March Craft Along. And the Craft Along for this month is going to be a 3D paper egg. And what's really nice about this craft is it could be for Easter, it could just be in celebration of spring, or it could just be because you like eggs. So we really wanted to do something that was inclusive for everyone. It's something you can do all year round. And I do want to give a special thanks to Anastasia Barron from papershape.com. And the reason I would like to do that is she very generously gave us permission to use her craft for this month. And I'll show you here if I scroll down where it is, and it's an egg here, and I'm just going to make it in English. This is a German website, but you can turn it to English. And after this craft, if you wish to do it again, it's all available on her website. So we just want to give a special thank you to her. And with that, let's get started. Let's go over the materials you'll need for this craft first. In your kit, you should have received on cardstock your template for the egg. You also would have received a little push pin and a length of string. On top of that, you're going to need a ruler or some sort of straight edge, glue or double-sided tape, and a pair of scissors. To begin the assembly of our egg, you can do one of two options. You can cut out all of the pieces on the paper here. You're going to be cutting along the solid lines. And then we're going to be scoring all of the dotted lines using our ruler and our push pin. Or you could score all the dotted lines on each of the different pieces first and then cut it out. I found this to be a little bit easier to score first, then cut out. So once you have that completed, we'll start with our next step. If you've never scored before, it simply means you're creating a line to help with the folding of the paper, especially where this is thicker paper. So an example of the scoring would be to pick any of these dotted lines here. I'm going to choose this one, and I'm going to line my ruler up to the dotted line. I'm then going to take my push pin and I'm going to drag it along the line. Now I want to create a bit of a cut or a line here using the sharp point, but I don't want to go all the way through. And what this does, it almost creates like a little hinge that's going to make it easier for that piece of paper to fold. I now have all of the pieces cut out and they all have been scored. It is a little time consuming to do all that scoring, but it will make this a lot easier to do. So I'm going to start with piece A. The printed side should be facing you, so we're not going to be working this way. It should be facing this way. And you're going to fold all the dotted lines inwards, which means to fold up. So all these short dotted lines. So when you do that, you'll notice it starts to sort of take shape. So I'm just giving these all of a fold here. Okay. So using our glue or double-sided tape, we're going to taper glue onto the unprinted side of the tabs. You'll notice on each of these pieces that each number exists twice. You're going to be sticking all the same numbers together in ascending order, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting with section 1, we're going to stick it to the section marked 1 on paper A. So what that means, you can see we have 1B and 2 on piece A. When I pick up piece B, you notice there's a 1A and a 2 here as well. You can also give these a little bit of a fold before we assemble them. But what that means is we're going to be taking 1A and 2, and those are going to be sticking onto 1B and 2. So That's going to stick here and stick here. And once those are attached, we're going to be taking tab 3 and adhering it to the number 3 and placing our glue here, putting glue on tab 4 and sticking it to 4, and we're going to continue all the way around from connecting A to B. To verify to yourself that you're assembling your egg properly, you want to make sure that each of these little tabs, and the tabs that you glue are the tabs that have the numbers with the little squares on them here. These always want to be on the inside of your egg. You'll notice on the outside, you don't have any tabs showing. So if I was to attach number 8 here, that's the next one I'm doing, and if I attached it to the outside, you would see the tab. Not that this is the end of the world, but it won't look as nice as if you were to keep the tab on the inside and glue it down. That way, it keeps a nice, smooth exterior to your egg. Once you finish connecting A to B, you're then going to start on C and continue in this way until you get to E. F is a little different, but with C, you're going to find what we last ended on here. Let's see. So you can see there's an 11C here, and we should be able to find an 11B. So we're going to put glue on the back of this tab here and connect 11B to 11C. And we glue that down and then continue in our ascending order. We would put glue on the back of tab 12 and attach that to 12. And then continue in this way all around. And once you finish with C, you would then start with D and then E. F, you actually fold in here. You can see it actually just says plug on here, because once all these are folded up, oops, ooh, I didn't actually score this one. This is what happens if you don't score. It's kind of a good example. You get kind of a messy fold. But this is our bottom, so it's okay. But the whole point of this is that here's my completed egg, and you can see this is F. And because this is a plug and not glued in, I can take this out and you can actually put candy or anything in here and and you can replace it. And if you don't think you'll be using this to hold candy or anything like that, it can be a little finicky to get it back in there, but there we go. You could always just glue F down at the very end as well, but that's what F is for here and why it says plug. Once you have assembled all of your different parts, it should look something like this. And then we have our F, and it is your choice if you think you might fill this with some goodies or not. So you can either tape this to the bottom or leave it free floating. But I pointed all of the points upward, and it can be a little tricky to get this in, but it should just sit right at the base there. And now you have a freestanding 3-dimensional egg. We did include in the kit a stretch of string here. So like this completed one here, you could tie the string around and add a nice little bow. You could also attach this to, say, a large darning needle, thread it through the bottom here and come up to the top and knot it. And then you could actually hang the egg from somewhere if you'd like to. And I just used some cheap acrylic paint and I added some fun colors to mine. Yours might not be white, it could be another color, but you could always work with that as well. You could even add stickers. It's really up to you. It's now your 3D egg, so hopefully yours turned out similar to this. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you in our next craft along.